Chapter 219. Little Bully Wu Feng. Somewhere in the battlefield, the Fox Emperor was hiding in a hole in the ground with a pale face and a spiteful light in her eyes. She had already suffered heavy injuries, and then she executed the heavenly demon blood escape. Her injuries became even more serious, and she wouldn't be able to recover without half a year's time. So what if you're even stronger? There are many others in this spirit sealing space that are stronger than you. I don't believe I can't kill you, the Fox Emperor thought with a face full of malice, and then continued to heal his wounds. A month passed from Kang Chon's invincible battle at the crater. Little Gold and Brahma Heart came out of the gate, one after another, and both of them thoroughly digested the dragon blood fruit, and their fleshly bodies reached the Emperor level. After advancing to the Imperial level, the two were only inferior to Kang Chon, but they were much stronger than the Fox Emperor's kind of Imperial trialists who had just been promoted. After all, whether it was Little Gold or Brahma Heart, they were both 1 in a million strong. One of them was a Vajra divine monkey, and the other was of the 8-armed Vajra special bloodline, and they were both incomparably powerful as soon as they made a breakthrough. After Little Gold and Brahma Heart had successfully promoted to the Imperial level, Kang Chon took the two of them and started sweeping around, searching for the whereabouts of the dragon blood fruit. It wasn't known, as they had obtained too many dragon blood fruits, so much so that they hadn't obtained another one even after arriving at the City of Earth. On the contrary, there were 3 other lucky guys in the battlefield who had each obtained a dragon's blood fruit, becoming 3 Emperor-level powerhouses. However, these 3 powerhouses simply didn't have the guts to compete with Kang Chon, and after they had been promoted to the Emperor level, they left the battlefield and headed to the City of Earth. Half a year later, outside the gates of the City of Earth, 3 powerful figures arrived. The majestic City of Earth was like a giant dragon hibernating, radiating a majesty that was inviolable. This ancient city seemed to have existed since ancient times, exuding a desolate aura. In the ancient city, the streets were crisscrossed with traffic, and there was an endless stream of people coming and going. It was a prosperous city, much more lively than the City of People. Within the city, there were many trialists, their numbers not much worse than the native cultivation world of the spirit sealing space. Clearly a batch of trialists who had entered the spirit sealing space had converged down. The City of People was just the beginning. The City of Earth was the bridge to the City of Heaven, and only the final battlefield of the City of Heaven was the place where everyone would have their showdown and the final place of trials. Therefore, the City of Earth was the existence of a transit point, gathering countless trialists, and many people used it as a springboard to dive into cultivation here, waiting until their strength was sufficient before traveling to the City of Heaven. Therefore, the City of Earth had the largest number of trialists in it. So many strong people. Brother, look, that big crab is actually at the peak of the king level. Haha, the City of Earth is the center of the spirit sealing space, and many trialists gather here, so there are a lot of strong ones here. Above the noisy streets, there came a purple-clothed youth and a golden-haired monkey, as well as a bald monk. The combination of these 3 was very striking, and many of the surrounding cultivators were pointing at them and talking about them. However, these 2 men and the monkey didn't care in the slightest, curiously surveying the surrounding cultivators and talking to each other with smiles. Kang Chon saw a huge crab crossing not far away, a powerful peak king level aura palpitating, and many people around him dodged away. In this ancient city, strong people who had reached the king level could be found everywhere. They had only entered the city for a few moments, and had already spotted dozens of powerful king level powerhouses. There were quite a lot of strong people in this City of Earth. Little Gold was looking around curiously. There were many demonic beasts within the spirit sealing space, and he was very excited, like he was seeing his own kind. The 2 men and the monkey wandered around the city for a while, and then found a restaurant. Hey, have you heard? The recent batch of trialists appeared an invincible character. This person swept the 4 directions in the City of Man half a year ago. He even swept the City of Man battlefield in one battle. As soon as he entered the restaurant, it was all sorts of clamor that continued to converge, with some of them even talking about themselves. Kang Chon couldn't help but perk up his ears and listen to the conversations of one cultivator in the restaurant. "You were talking about hegemonic Emperor Kang Chon. I've heard about it a long time ago. My cousin is the most recent batch to enter the spirit sealing space, and he saw that Kang Chon sweeping across the 4 directions with his own eyes half a year ago, and was eventually honored as the hegemonic emperor." A big man in green clothes said, "This person is something. I've heard that before he was promoted to the imperial level, he was able to resist imperial level powerhouses. And once he was promoted to the imperial level, he was even able to defeat imperial level powerhouses. With a single punch, his strength is unfathomable." Another cultivator said, "I'm afraid this hegemonic emperor will be another invincible figure soon." While listening to the crowd talk, in an elegant room, Kang Chon, Brahma Shin, and Xiao Jing were also talking. "Haha, Brother Dao, you're famous now. Even the cultivators in the City of Earth have heard of your name. TSK, Hegemonic Emperor. Grand enough?" Van Shin laughed. "That's for sure. My brother is the most powerful," Little Gold said excitedly. Kang Chon laughed and shook his head. He also didn't expect that he was so famous. It had already spread to Earth City. It had to be said that news from the spirit sealing space traveled too fast. Before he even arrived in the City of Earth, things about him were already spreading in the City of Earth. Hegemonic Emperor. HMPH. It's just a junior who has been exaggerated by many idiots. How dare he call himself Hegemony Emperor? He really doesn't know how to write the word death. When he comes to Earth City, I, Little Hegemony King, will let him know what the real hegemony is." Suddenly, a brocade-clothed youth proudly walked up to the restaurant, scanning the crowd of cultivators in the restaurant with a disdainful face, and said with a cold smile. Instantly, the entire large restaurant fell into silence. The brocade-clothed youth came suddenly and left suddenly. It was only after he left the restaurant that the original clamor returned to the restaurant, and some of the cultivators were discussing with incomparable intensity. "That's little hegemon Wu Feng. I heard that his father, Wu Beishan, is known as hegemon, and is one of the 3 strongest people in Earth City." A cultivator said with some palpitations, "That little hegemon must be displeased with Kang Chon's hegemonic emperor's name. It seems that he's going to stand up for his father this time, that Kang Chon is going to be in bad luck." Someone gloated, "That's not necessarily true. Wu Beishan is actually not arrogant and overbearing. It's just that his son Little King, Wu Feng, has always been strong and accustomed to it, coupled with his father's intimidation, causing him to act very overbearingly in the City of Earth. This time, perhaps it's because he himself is not happy with Kang Chon's name." Another person said so. "No matter what, when Kang Chon comes to the City of Earth, he is bound to face off with little bully Wu Feng. Really looking forward to which one of them will win." A cultivator said with a face full of anticipation, "It should be hegemonic Emperor Kang Chon, to be able to sweep the battlefield of the City of People. It definitely won't be in vain. After all, this batch of trialists is very powerful. I heard that 5 of them, demonic beast powerhouses of Zhuangwu descent, were all killed by that hegemonic Emperor Kang Chon. If Wu Feng loses, I wonder if his father, Wu Beishan, will make a move. It's been many years since I've seen Wu Beishan make a move. I really want to know how powerful this powerhouse returning from the City of Heaven is." In the middle of the restaurant, one cultivator was discussing. In the middle of the elegant room, Kang Chon frowned, pondering in his eyes, and from time to time, a glint of essence flashed through his eyes, a divine light looming. "Brother Dao, it seems that the powerful name has also erected numerous enemies for you. This Wu Beishan is actually a strong person who has returned from the City of Heaven. It seems that his strength is by no means simple, Vanshin said with a grave expression. HMPH. It's not just that his name carries the word Ba. He even calls himself the Overlord. It's really shameless. You have to know that my brother is the one who fought out the name, Xiaojin said with great dissatisfaction, despising that Wu Beishan very much. Kang Chon, however, laughed and said very confidently, if he wants to fight, then let's fight. Fan Xin and Xiaojin smiled at his words. They were both very relaxed at the moment, because they were both Emperor-level powerhouses. Even if they were not able to defeat those peak Emperor-level powerhouses, there was still no one who could stop them if they wanted to leave. Unless it was an invincible level powerhouse, but there were very few characters of that level. And they were all in the battlefield of the City of Heaven. The City of Earth didn't have a single invincible level powerhouse at all. As more and more trialists came to the City of Earth, there were more and more rumors about hegemonic Emperor Kang Chon, and many people even felt that Kang Chon had already come to the City of Earth. The news of Little Hegemony King Wu Feng challenging Kang Chon also spread more and more, and within a month, it had made the City of Earth known to everyone. Many people were looking forward to the battle between Wu Feng and Kang Chon. It was only that Kang Chon was late in showing up, to which the crowd was very surprised. Could it be that Kang Chon was afraid? Those who had such thoughts were the past trialists. No one from the batch of trialists who came with Kang Chon would think so, because they had seen Kang Chon's invincible strength with their own eyes. 3 months later, Kang Chon still hadn't come out to answer the battle, which caused many to think that Kang Chon was afraid. Even the trialists from the same batch as Kang Chon were suspicious. Hegemonic Emperor, what a joke. To think that he doesn't even dare to answer the battle. What qualifications does he have to call himself a hegemon? Wu Feng said disdainfully. Throughout the City of Earth, there were more and more unfavorable voices towards Kang Chon, and many people began to disdain Kang Chon's behavior. For a while, no one called Kang Chon hegemonic emperor anymore, which caused Kang Chon's popularity to drop to its lowest point. There were only a small number of people who still held on to Kang Chon's invincibility, and those were the group of trialists who had witnessed Kang Chon's sweeping invincibility in the crater back then, and they had long since branded Kang Chon's invincible figure in their hearts, and so they were very much in awe of him. I believe that Hegemony Emperor is delayed by something. Perhaps Hegemonic Emperor hasn't arrived in Earth City yet. If he really came here, only 2 or 3 people in the entire Earth City would be his opponent. These trialists who supported Kang Chon said so, and their words instantly caused an argument throughout the City of Earth, with many people being very disdainful of it. Without even the courage to meet a battle, what kind of cheek is there to call yourself a hegemonic emperor? It's been a year since the battlefield in the City of People ended. There's no way he hasn't come to the City of Earth. He must have heard the wind, and is hiding somewhere. Hey, this batch of trialists are really idiots, honoring him as a hegemony emperor just because of one battle. What a bunch of losers. In the City of Earth, many trialists sneered and ridiculed. Many people were on Wu Feng's side. After all, Wu Feng's father scares everyone. That was a strong person who was about to reach the invincible level. In a majestic mansion, a brocade-clothed young man and a black-clothed middle-aged man were sitting opposite each other. The brocade-clothed young man was the little bully, Wu Feng. At this moment, he was very respectful and said to the black-clothed middle-aged man, "Father, that kid hasn't appeared yet. It seems that he is afraid." HMPH, I told you. It must be those idiots exaggerating. Otherwise, how could a brat who just entered the spirit ceiling space be comparable to you, father? Listening to Wu Feng's words, the identity of the middle-aged man in black was self-evident. It was precisely Wu Feng's father, one of the 3 strongest men in the City of Earth, the Overlord Wu Beishan. Wu Beishan's complexion was cold, and his eyes were incredibly deep, like a piece of unfathomable sea water that one could not help but fall into. There was a scar on his forehead that appeared somewhat hideous. This was a very powerful person, and just looking at his eyes caused one's heart to palpitate. Even when Wu Feng was in front of his own father, he felt his body tremble and did not dare to look at his father's eyes. Don't underestimate every trialist that can come to the spirit sealing space. Every one of them comes from a great place. They might not be as powerful as you in the flesh, but it's hard to say outside. Wu Beishan looked at his own son in front of him and said in a deep voice,